Hey, it's Kristen with Collision Hub, and last month we brought a live show about scanning and calibrations and some of the challenges that's presenting on both sides of the industry and even into our service departments. And we talked a lot about the information providers bringing some solutions, and I'm really excited. Jack, you've got a solution for us, so my fears, are going to ease a little bit with what you're bringing to the market here.
Yeah, thanks, Kristen. Great to be here with you. Yes, we've been working for over a year now on a solution for diagnostics for the collision industry. As you know, one of the big problems is all the scan tools that have been developed to date were all developed for the mechanical repair industry. And while they have some application to collision, they weren't designed for collision. So we've been spending the last year working together with Bosch and have come out working on a solution based on Bosch tools integrated in with Mitchell software and systems to provide a solution designed specifically for collision repairers.
Wow, so you got a lot of platform, you got a lot of things going on there, so I'm going to try to digest it a little bit piece by piece. So this is extremely exciting. Bosch, why Bosch? I mean, I know they were on our show, we got a chance to meet Steve, but what's so great about the Bosch tools?
Well, Bosch, for one thing, designs and builds many of the ADAS systems and the radar and LiDAR systems that are used in the most modern collision avoidance systems. So they have a leg up on everyone else, and they also build a lot of the OEM scan tools. So they have availability and a direct line with the manufacturers to get the data to build the best scan tools. There's a couple other companies that we researched that really have nice tools, but when we did the side-by-side comparison and looked at who had the best vehicle coverage, who was most committed to the collision market, and who had the best features and functions overall, was no question it was Bosch.
Yeah, they do a great job, and you're right, with designing the systems that are on the cars already. I mean, it's almost like multi-layers of expertise coming to the table there around this topic. Mm-hmm. You guys have taken this tool a step farther, so like you said, it's specifically designed for collision repair. We had a chance to get our hands on it earlier and play with it. You had to kind of pry it out of our hands because we were a little excited about what all it would do. But break down for us everything this tool does besides just scanning and calibrating the car.
Well, two things are most important and fundamental to it. One is that it's designed specifically for what a collision repairer needs to do with diagnostics. And two is it makes the scan tool part of your shop network. So no longer is the scan tool a discrete object out on the floor of the shop that has no connectivity to the rest of your systems, but we've now integrated the tools and the data that do the diagnostics in with the rest of your applications and software. So we have a cloud connectivity platform that actually brings scan tool data to the Bosch cloud, where it connects to the Mitchell cloud, and then we can connect it to whatever system is in use in the shop. And it even works with systems in use by claims executives and insurance appraisers as well, so that we can provide that level of integration. So now the scan tool is a node on the network that you're using to manage claims and collision repairs. And that, when you have a platform that does that, now you have a lot of things that you couldn't do with a discrete tool that was a disconnected piece of equipment on the shop floor.
Right. And so now that tool, what's great is I'm not tied to the car, so I'm not tethered with this tool. Mm-hmm. So in addition to being able to plug in and get my scanning and diagnostics, I can now walk around. I can even take pictures with that tool, right?
Yeah, this tool is, there's two tools that we use in Mitchell Diagnostics. This is the larger of the two tools, and it has a built-in camera. It's wirelessly connected to the vehicle, so I can put the car up on a lift, I can walk around, I can do scanning from my desk in the front office once I plug the vehicle communication interface in. And really exciting for us at Mitchell now is that because we now have our cloud estimating platform, where we can run Mitchell estimating actually on the browser on this device, because this is an internet connected device, and we can run Mitchell estimating on here. So I can be at the car during teardown, writing the estimate, taking pictures while I'm running the scans, and even connect to OEM databases or other databases like TechAdvisor, for example, and actually be able to, all in one device, be able to access the OE repair information, write the estimate, take the pictures, and do the scans, all on this tool.
So my blueprinting and triage process just went to a whole new level. So, I mean, it's really, instead of me going back and forth and having kind of multiple people sometimes involved, one blueprinter is going to be able to really address all of those needs on the front end while writing the estimate, while documenting the repair, while doing everything. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we developed this in conjunction with a lot of input from the industry and our customers, and we got all their input and their ideas, and when we actually put it together and put this in the hands of some of our users that were, in very busy shops, high production shops that do a lot of teardown work and have very efficient process, when they saw this tool and how it applies to what they're doing, they just immediately, you could see the light bulbs going off of redesigning the whole teardown workflow into something much more efficient based on the use of this tool.
You didn't get them back, did you? Y'all had to like wrestle them out of their hands.
I have come back from business trips where I've shown the tool where I've had it pried out of my hands and have not been able to get it back.
Now, one of the things I like that you guys have done is you've even kind of gone a step further. So if this wasn't great enough, you've taken that very long, hard to digest, often confusing report that I get after I scan these and put it down into a really readable, almost 2-page format where no matter what your skill level or knowledge is in the industry, even if you're the consumer, you can look at that and kind of know what's going on with your car.
Right. Documentation is so important in everything we do in collision and claims, as you know. And you know, I've seen shops that have been using their cell phone cameras to take pictures of the screen on a scan tool to show the results of a pre-scan or a post-scan. And as I showed you earlier, the reports that typically come directly off a scan tool, 19 pages long, really cryptic, very hard to read. And you put those in front of an insurance adjuster or a consumer or even other people in the shop that are trying to figure out what needs to be done to the car, and they're very, very difficult to understand. So what we've done is we've taken the data through the integration with Bosch, and we're now reorganizing in a way that makes it usable and consumable for those involved in the collision and auto claims process. You get a nice clean report that shows you what vehicle is being worked on, whether I'm looking at a pre-scan or a post-scan report, and you know, very clear, easy to read list of diagnostic trouble codes and things like that.
Now let's say I'm working on an estimate in my shop and maybe part of my DRP or agreement is to use another piece of estimating software. Could I still benefit from having the Mitchell Diagnostics in my facility?
Yeah, Mitchell is committed to open systems, and we've designed Mitchell Diagnostics to work with any other system that you may be using. Of course, if you're going to be using it in conjunction with Mitchell Solutions, we probably have a little better integration. That's not unusual. But the diagnostic reports can be integrated into whatever other solution you use, and whether that's independent appraisers, we've shown this too, can integrate it into systems they're using. Insurers can integrate it into claims systems through importing the documents that are produced through Mitchell Diagnostics, and of course it works with the other information providers that serve the collision industry.
If I was back as a field estimator in the insurance industry, I would want one of those with me all times because it's a single solution. I mean, everything that I'm struggling with for researching now, because the research on an estimate is the hardest part these days before you write your first line. You've put it all in one place for me, and I'm not got a camera and running around. That would make my life so much simpler.
Yeah, well, you know, anything today that's not connected to the internet all the time is, you know, not really effective. And this, by working with, you know, a lot of things that we're doing to make a more open platform approach to life is just a perfect example of how working in an open solutions background, you can put different components together where the sum is greater than the sum of the parts.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things we're struggling with. Like I said, we touched on it last month, the pre-work, the scanning, the integrating into the workflow, and by you guys giving us a tool, that's just going to kind of probably settle maybe some of the fear we created last month, make it settled a little bit here for some of those questions. So, top question, Jack, when can I have one? When am I going to be able to get these in my hands?
June. This year, so we're, you know, any day now. So the product is, again, through some extraordinary cooperation with Bosch, we've been able to get this thing done ahead of schedule, and we'll have it unit shipping first part of July.
Right. So for the shops and the independents and people out there, should they just contact their local Mitchell sales representative in their market?
Absolutely. Yep.
Or just call in directly there into San Diego to you guys and you get them taken care of?
Yes, we will.
So what's next, Jack? Any inside tips? Anything I can hear for what's going to be coming next out of Mitchell?
Well, there's a lot more. You know, as I mentioned in the show we did last month, the complexity of the vehicles today is presenting challenges like we've never seen before. And at Mitchell, we are totally reinvigorated to deliver on our mission of providing information, data, software, and solutions that help people fix cars correctly and get it done quickly and efficiently. So we're really excited about what's going on right now.
Yeah, I know. We'll take all the help we can get because it just seems like, you know, it's growing, and the complexity of that is kind of overwhelming sometimes when you sit back and look at it. It's definitely not dense in paint anymore in a way. So we appreciate all you're doing. So as we go forward throughout the rest of the year, you're going to know that scanning and diagnostics and calibrations and all that is a really integral part into the total claims process from the time it comes into the shop to the time it leaves, not just something that's done in the repair bay by the technician. And having an integrated solution that allows you from the front office to the back office to capture and document everything that you're doing, well, that's going to be critical for success. So call Mitchell, learn a little bit more about the tool they have, and we'll see you next month here on CHNN.